Welcome to the last dungeon, before the last dungeon. It's the Ice Ruins. Guess what weapon I'm going to be using all the damn time in this?
Ice Rod?
Get out.
And end the video right
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
So I've been hyping up this thing since I got it. Now I get to finally show off why it's amazing. But first, that.
How great would it have been you used it once and the whole thing melts?
You know, yeah, you'd think. I imagine I can also use the lantern, but why would I?
You should just do that to spite the people in the thread.
Well, again, recorded this in October.
Oh, right.
I don't immediately realize it, but the fire rod is elevated. So I could actually kill those guys right now if I wanted. But I'm not going to right now. The interesting thing about the Ice Ruins is you actually get the boss key right at the start. There's a lot of elevation in this. This is probably the most elevation in any of the Link Between Worlds dungeons. And they use that way to its advantage. But at the very bottom of these elevators is actually the boss key. For right now, I'm just figuring out what I could do before I get it. Like that.
This is kind of an interesting thing. I was watching another buddy's LP, and the game itself brought up the concept of how players never look up. And it's kind of interesting how in this game, there's a lot of elevation mechanics in it, and you just never look up because you don't have to. So it's kind of interesting how they managed to keep all the verticality of a level design without ever needing to look up.
Which you can't, because you are up, you're just looking down.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the many ways developers subvert the awkwardness of saying, hey, you should probably look up. Because, like, one of my favorite examples of forcing a player to look up is an old game called... Well, not old game. A game Red Dead... Or not Red Dead, fucking... Call of Juarez. I don't know how I got those two mixed up. Call of Juarez Gunslinger is your average Western first-person shooter, but in order to get your attention for anything up, they rip camera control from you to force you to look up, and that always felt weird to me.
There's a random cut to a golden rupee, because I went all the way up and trying to figure out how the hell to get to this key, and then it just randomly came across the secret chest.
Nice.
The way to get to this key is you actually just go across the wall from here. It doesn't look like you can do that, though, because in previous dungeons, whenever there's been a weird, craggy, missing brick part of the wall, you can't cross it, and that's actually where you going into the wall gets blocked off. But in that case, it's just because of the camera angle, you can't see you can actually go through the wall that way. I don't know why I tried using a tornado rod on him. I think it's just because I had it equipped at the time. And I forgot it wasn't the fire rod.
Well, technically it worked. Wow, that looked weird.
Yeah. This is actually the main gimmick of the Ice Ruins. Not the ice itself, though that does come into play, and it's actually not as annoying as it could be. But as we go through the dungeon, we're actually going to activate switches that move that specific block all the way down to the boss, and that's how we fight it.
Huh.
So every level that we go to is one step in getting the boss arena down to the boss, which is an interesting way of going about it.
Give us back our 1 rupee!
No, it's mine. You can have this fire.
Oh yeah.
Did that just fall through the floor?
Probably. But I'm glad I was actually able to deflect that ice attack with the fire rod. Because I've been getting hit with ice so many damn times, ever since I got into the low roll Death Mountain. And there's something refreshing about it. So yeah, right from the start, we get the big key. We just can't get to the big door yet. And that's actually the boss arena right there, I think.
It is. I only know this because I vividly remember this year's SGDQ where they actively skipped this boss fight.
Really?
Yeah, I forget how they do it in detail, but it summarizes to they shot, I think it was 3 fire rods into a hole from a very specific point before you jump down the hole. And the projectile is still persistent, and the boss is just chilling there, so they just fucking kill it.
Wow. Damn, that means I could have done that if I knew about that.
Well, the only reason I knew about it, this was like recorded in October for you, and this was like done in June, so it took like what, 4 months for it was like a 4-month time difference.
You do know there are 12 months in a year.
Wait. Oh my god. Wait, hang on a second. November, December, January, March. Shit! Wow, that's longer than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I totally forgot April and May exist. Hello.
You know, the months we just had not too long ago.
It's okay, Highwang. There are a lot of people who hate August because it's not Halloween yet.
But you're not on fire from summer heat.
Yeah, but it personally irks me because, well, I was born in that month and everybody's like, yeah, but it's 2 months before Halloween, and then in September, Halloween almost there. It's like, fuck you. And I know that's like half the audience, but fuck it.
I fucking love any time that's not summer. Like, September is already a breath of relief because temperature here in California dropped 20 degrees.
It's so nice out.
Yeah, I can open my window.
So the reason I was using the lantern there is because that's an ice platform. If I use the fire rod, I'm just gonna fall. Oh, good.
Ew, they're a handful?
Yeah. They really should have come up with better mechanics for the body parts.
Such as you can eat them.
You get so many of them for how little you ever need. You never need them. They're completely optional.
Like, I would be perfectly fine with spending money for potions, because we can't fucking get rid of this stuff.
Wait a minute.
Has money ever really been like a big issue in Zelda?
No. You are always at cap.
The only game I can think of where like money was a necessity was Wind Waker.
Technically in this game too.
True, but you get a lot of it. You don't have to like grind for it. It's usually you just adventure long enough and then you have it.
Yeah.
Whereas Wind Waker, in the first one, if you weren't collecting money or being careful with it, you did have to go and grind for money. And if you wanted to do 100%, in both games, you're gonna have to grind a lot of money.
Yeah, money's always just been kind of a very fucking useless thing. Like, it's nice to have, but you're never gonna need it outside of buying the boomerang or the bow. Once you got that, money's pretty much worthless. Which is kind of why I'm glad that Breath of the Wild is basically just MacGyver Simulator.
How does that not exist yet?
Yeah.
What, MacGyver Simulator?
MacGyver Simulator, yeah.
Especially since they revived the show.
I really want to say Alpha Protocol is that, but in Alpha Protocol, the people have just discovered fucking like, silenced tranquilizer pistols are super overpowered. You don't have to know anything about the map so long as you have a silenced pistol, you can just game the system.
Going away.
Oh, I was like, oh boy, a map, wait.
No, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Maybe not useful this late in the game, but whatever.
I think it's useful in general just because it looked like it wasn't much, but that little bit is basically, hey, you have a third shot of your fire rod now.
Probably.
Oh, I think you had only 2 shots.
Ah, goddammit.
Son of a bitch. Well, at least it's not rolling into it.
I haven't seen you roll once in this game, Thorn. Is there rolling in this game?
I don't think so.
Good, then Nintendo's saving you from yourself.
Oh, good. The underside of the platform is where the ice is.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Oh, I wanted to push it into the fire.
Good job fighting this guy. Now fight the big penguin. Wow, that thing's big.
Oh, he does a lot of damage.
Ugh, man. Even after the playthrough was done, I still miss Bombos. That would have trivialized this fight.
Didn't that happen in one of the dungeons?
The ice dungeon in Link to the Past was like 80% penguins. But I also love the fact that I didn't need the fire rod for the ice dungeon. I could just use Bombos. This is a matter of, yeah, I don't have to do that.
If it was as good in that game as it is in this one, I think I'd still use it. Being careful, cause that.
With a fire rod or Bombos?
Fire rod.
I think the fire rod was good because it was like a super fast projectile that did almost the power of the maximum master sword.
Damn. I think that's about as strong as this, too.
But the issue is Bombos is everything fucking dies, no question. Why do you need a master sword?
Plot.
Yeah.
Aha, I almost didn't realize that.
Like, I'm gonna get this game someday, and then I'm gonna feel like an idiot after doing all these video LPs and still forgetting, yo, you could go in walls. Because that's what happens every single time I'm on one of these episodes. I think, oh, how the fuck are you gonna do this? Oh, right.
The core mechanic of the game. Oh, it's doing the Hunter Salute. That's for you Dark Souls 3 fans.
I was gonna say.
My brain went to Hunter x Hunter first thought, because I've been marathoning it.
How is that show? Because I've seen a lot of people talk about it, but I'm just kind of like, really?
It's pretty good. If you've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, like it's made by the same guy, like it has that vibe to it, because it's an old manga that essentially is getting a remake of it, like a remade in anime, because it's been going on since it debuted, but like the author has like a lot of health issues, so it gets delayed a lot.
Ah, I see. So it has proper delays, unlike Berserk.
Yeah. Where like the man like is dying if he doesn't stop.
They're gonna pull the plug on him if he doesn't stop.
It's like the big thing is like the fucking Berserk. It's just basically the whims of the developer saying, "Oh, new Idolmaster's out." Well, your protagonist is stuck on a boat for 3 years, and then we release one chapter.
But I like Hunter x Hunter a lot. It does a lot of subversion, which is pretty good. I actually like the main character. Like, you actually want to cheer for him because he's a kid, but he's the nicest fucking kid.
It's like a action thing though. I don't know. Like ever since I read Hero Academia and like predicted everything in that comic, I've been kind of jaded towards just the whole action anime thing.
You should probably give it a shot, because it does a lot of subversion and, like, it tells its story differently, where it doesn't feel like there is, like a good or a bad character, because they're all hunting for their own reasons.
Okay.
And the antagonist is creepy as shit, and actually somebody you would be afraid of.
Is it that weird clown dude that has, like, fucking card suits on his face?
Yes.
I regret ever saying Hunter.
Well, it's time for the boss, so we can actually talk about the game. Now, what the fuck is that thing?
Speaking of creepy,
Oh. His design doesn't matter.
It's a nice Cthulhu eyeball or something.
Yeah, like I mentioned the speedrun way earlier in this video. I forget how they do it, but even though the boss isn't visible, he still counts as there.
Huh.
So they just do something to throw fireballs at his non-existent body there. Thought, bye.
That was a great spin.
It was really great.
Probably not the greatest thing I could have done there.
Isn't this basically just Blizzetta from Twilight Princess? Or is this like something different?
I don't think he crushes me. He does have interesting attacks, and then he sends out these little crystals, which if you get caught in their triangle, you instantly get frozen.
Ah, okay.
But he's not hard, at least not at this point.
Cool, you can still hit him while he's, Wait, could you? Because it looked like you were.
I think it was just flashing red.
Ah.
He's nearly dead anyway.
So how's this boss super easy, yet that stupid hand in Lost Woods took ages to kill?
Pretty much everyone in the comments in the thread pointed out they're already really underprepared for that level.
Ah, okay.
I should have gone to all the other ones and gotten all the upgrades. But yeah, pretty quick dungeon overall. Not an annoying ice level, which is pretty lucky. Full set of hearts.
Who's this?
And it's the Mountain Man.
Oh. Man, they're really stretching for sages in this game.
Wait, the mailman?
No, Mountain Man.
Oh, I think you said, like, I was gonna say, oh my god, we were right in Twilight Princess the whole time.
One day, Yoshi.
We can use all our power to find this thing. Which should just be here, we just don't know where it is.
God, I hate you guys.
Some of them are alright, but yeah, half of them are just like, eh.
It's not even like a character and personality thing. It's every sage in Zelda always does like a dumb thing. It's always like, well, you did all that work, and here we made a bridge, and here we're gonna do the thing, and we're gonna help you fight. Like, just to do like a minuscule thing that you could have probably done on your own.
No, see, because since you're the chosen hero, they're the chosen Triforce bits. And at least we didn't have to trudge them out of a fucking ocean.
And they do something else dumb. They have to give us stairs.
What?
Guys! Come on!
We have a rod that can lift us up.
Yeah. Let's see if your legs actually work, Taco Bob.
I know what this is. This is basically the fanfare of you got them all, now you get to have their last words, but this is so stupid. Like, they could have done this better.
Imagine if you rescued 8 sages in one Zelda game, and then it's like, alright, we're gonna tell you where the Triforce is, but in order to get it, you need this fishing rod, and they give you a regular-ass fishing rod.
Remember catching a fish, Nordon? Well, do it again.
I hope Irene gets to go back to the real world now.
Nope, they have to stay here until we beat the game.
I hate Zelda sometimes.
I just feel bad for the sage at the very top, because if they trip and fall, it's over.
I was trying to hurt him.
Shove.
And then our boots got wet.
I'm now officially courageous. And I get trapped in light prison. What?
You've gained the powers of the god!
The what?
Just go to low rule!
Okay.
We'll summarize it at the end of the plot. Just fucking go.
What?
She's like, wait, hang on, climbs up the steps.
She falls off.
And she's the old one. She just goes.
You gotta Laurel.
I don't know, Irene. How do you know? You're stuck in the Shadow Realm.
Boy, there's sure a lot of monsters sitting in water.
It also kind of bugs me that Irene is not there yet. We still can't ride the broom normally.
Oh, good, you showed up.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Hey, hey.
So I don't want to alarm you or anything, but I'm dying.
So, wait. She put that barrier up the whole time. Why?
To keep Yuga from taking over while we were busy rescuing all the sages.
Yeah, that's right, because at the beginning she's trapped him in like an ivy cage.
And Yuga's escaped his bonds, so the first thing he does is take over the castle and not, kill her.
Yuga's not really smart.
But next time, the final proper dungeon.